Well, first and foremost, our praises go to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And before I begin this video, I don't know if these witches finally got to this man because he used to be on their necks. And the reason why that I am saying that is because something is happening. There is a change with him, and the change is not exactly a good positive change, but I don't know what in the blue hell has happened with this man. But I don't know if he ate their food. I don't know what poutine that that he got, but whatever happened to him, he's bugging out. New breed, global truth. This man, I used to watch him a lot, and over time, I will watch him less and less. And now, after watching this video, I now know why. So I'm gonna do a commentary on this video. I hope I don't do the whole thing. I might end up doing the whole thing, but I hope it's not too long. Let's get to it.
Man, that's a blessed track right there. I see you in the chat. Salute to you, fam. Make sure y'all subscribe to King. Believe that they are gods. And before I get into this, let me first start off by saying, off of the break, I have not renounced being an Israelite. I repeat, I have not renounced being an Israelite. That is, in fact, my nationality biblically. I know my history. I know where
That is also supposed to be your heritage. That's supposed to be who you are.
I come from. I haven't forgotten where I come from. I still follow the Bible. I still, you know, take heed to the tenets written thereof. For those wondering, no, I haven't went back into the world and decided to be evil and wicked and leave all things behind. No, that's not the case. But when you pretty much distance yourself and renounce your affiliation with groups, camps, congregations, whatever the case may be, they believe that they are gods and they're all powerful. So when you renounce,
First and foremost, as long as I've been watching you, you had never ever affiliated with any camp or any group. So what camp and group are you talking about? And two, yes, we are gods. Psalms chapter 82, verse 6, I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. You're supposed to be a learned man, but anyway.
from being with them, that they believe that means you back in the world. They think they're the only way.
As fucked up as some of these camps are, I've never heard not one camp say that. No. As fucked up as some of these camps are, not one. But
And see,
okay.
that's a very dangerous mentality when they believe they're the only way to salvation. When the Bible tells you Christ is the way to salvation, not these men who are.
But Christ has used some of these men to speak for him. They are called prophets, sir. Revelation 11, Revelation chapter 11, verse 3, NIV version. And I will appoint my two witnesses, and they will prophesy for 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. The men in sackcloth with the beards are those men, new breed. And the two witnesses are the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, sir. And you're supposed to be a learned man. The guys who looking like the little Power Rangers or the guys who look like so-called bums, those are the men clothed in sackcloth that are here in these last days to basically tell the up and coming destruction of Mystery Babylon. But let's continue.
Fallible, who a lot of the times are full of pride, arrogance, ego, preeminence. Um, it's a lot of narcissism that goes on. These things happen in fallible men. And when you just,
He doesn't believe that the prophets are back, but Okay. Well,
Not affiliated with that, they have an issue with that. Now, let me start off in saying this, right? This subject is a bit of an oxymoron, and I'm going to go to a source too. I want to show y'all the origin of the Israelite camps, the actual origin of the Israelite camps. So you can understand how they were a rotten tree from the beginning. Oh, I'm going to bring it out. That's right. I'm going to bring it out in this stream that they were a rotten tree from the beginning, the camps were.
okay.
How they manipulated the Bible from the beginning. And we're going to show that in history. I got to take you back in history so you can understand. But let me give you a understanding here, right? It's a bit of an oxymoron saying that I want no part of the Israelite community because, ladies and gentlemen, there is no Israelite community.
That is correct.
There's different groups who seem to carry themselves like gangs. I mean, they have six-pointed stars. Uh, they got these damn stars of Moloch.
Now, I will say with these stars and these symbols that some of these groups have, that is idolatry, and we're not supposed to be having symbols. So, those of you who are having symbols of them stars or swords or whatever it is, that is idolatry because you're trying to represent yourself. This is not about you. This is about Yahweh Shai. This is not about you. So, there is some truth to that.
All over their garments. I mean, this is something that we were playing with gangbanging when we was young in our youth and we was in the streets and we was making certain moves. We had six-pointed stars, gangbanging and GDs and Bloods and Crips
Those of you who are in gangs, you're fucking devil worshippers. You are fucking demons. You're the same bastards who are having issues having a good night's sleep because you feel some type of dark entity in your room. I'm just letting you know you are worshiping Satan.
and all of that kind of stuff. So, it's like they adhere a lot of the same symbology. It's straight up demonic to the core. Um, and it is what it is. But here's the issue here. There's really no community. There's only groups, churches, camps, or whatever the case may be. And it's almost as if we as people have forgotten what a community actually is. What a community actually is. A community would be Black Wall Street.
Black people love to mention Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street was torn down. Anytime that we try to build anything up, like you see here in Atlanta, we have a place under Lake Lanier. That was apparently our town too, but it was flooded. Every time when we try to exalt ourselves, or every time when we try to save ourselves out of this condition, we are always constantly knocked down. And I'm confused because I'm supposed to be watching a man who is supposed to be learned, and he's not understanding that like the reason why that we're always in this predicament is because this is not our resting place. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 3, the days are coming, declares the Lord, when I will bring my people Israel and Judah back from captivity and restore them to the land I gave their forefathers to possess, says the Lord. It will be the Lord that is going to give us back everything that we have lost. But these stiff neck, hard headed motherfuckers keep doing the same shit, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work. But you're gonna keep on doing it. Keep on doing it. Keep on doing it. Keep on doing it. This is spiritual. This is so deep.
That's a community. A community would be Chinatown. That's a community. The Middle Eastern markets and so forth, when they have their own central hub where they're buying and selling to other nations. Yes, they buy and they sell to other nations. And believe it or not, It was once upon a time the real biblical Israelites sold to other nations. They were the lenders and not the borrowers.
That was before we became under the curses, sir.
But me distancing myself from that community is very needed. Now, let me just get into my background a little bit.
I just want to just say, in this so-called community, which I do agree with, that we do not have a community. Your name has gotten around to other camps, such as the IUIC, and to other people. And, sir, you have always been seen as odd. Not in a peculiar way, but odd like there's something wrong with you. We couldn't put our finger on it, but all of us who are in these different camps all came to the same conclusion about you is you are not peculiar, you're just odd. Odd.
For those who don't know, I've been on social media for a number of years, since about 2009 on YouTube, and I've been in biblical truth. I've been spreading biblical truth.
I'm just interested. How did you hear about this truth? Because it sure as hell wasn't by your damn self. But
I
anyway,
will continue to spread biblical truth. I speak on the law, statutes, and commandments. Um, I oblige people to keep those law, statutes, and commandments in order to live fruitful. What I've realized is a lot of quote unquote Israelite camps, they identify themselves more so by the curses than the blessings. And
be, because we are under the curses, sir. And you wonder why that you cannot build a community because we are under the fucking curses. The blessings will come later. But anyway,
if you're honoring the law, statutes, and commandments, there should be many blessings that come with it, right? I've noticed that in religion in general, a lot of people equivalate poverty and struggle to righteousness. I
those who are doing that are absolutely nuts. So
don't see things that way because I've read the Bible. And
you may have read the Bible, but you have not understood.
according to God Himself in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, He tells us that if we were to honor His laws and observe to do all of the laws that He command us, we would be blessed. We would be the head and not the tail. We would be the lender and not the borrower. We would be above all nations of the earth. Our
Yes, that was us. We fell off. We got in the curses, and now that will be restored to us in the kingdom, sir. When all this goes up in flames, we will get that title back. We will get what is rightfully ours back, sir. Let me allow this to keep playing because what this is just me just watching you. You want your kingdom now. You want your many wives, you want your community, you want all that stuff now, and it's not going to work, sir. You're very impatient. It's gonna blow up in your face. And the more I talk about it, like the more pissed off I'm getting. But let me keep going.
storehouse would be full. Our homes would be plenteous in goods. Um, the Bible is actually a very influential book when it comes to being prosperous. And it's very instrumental in how I view business as well. So let me just clarify that. And this is very important to understand. So when it comes to the quote unquote Israelite community, for the record, I have never been a part of any camps, congregations, churches. I've never been a part of one. In fact, I want to more so explain to you all how I've always been a threat to them from the very beginning.
No, sir, you have never been seen as a threat. You've been seen as odd because you say odd things. You say odd things a lot, sir. And you have that same dumbfounded, stupid ass look on your face because you're odd.
I've always been a threat to them. I mean, years ago, I was a threat to them. Um, Countless times, people attempted to recruit me. to be a part of their organizations. Countless times I denied being a part of their organizations.
Okay, that's normal. If you see a camp speaking, it is normal for them to try to talk to you, for you to be in the truth, and for you to be a part of their camp. That's actually normal. That has happened to me many times too. You're nothing special. That just what they do. New breed.
And with these type of people, these bullies who are all about control, once you deny being a part of their organizations, they tend to make you an enemy. And this is what they do if they see you as a threat. So they use intimidation. They have all kind of tactics that they utilize to promote fear in people, um, and they're just plain old wicked. A lot of them muster up a lot of courage because they're always around others and they feed off each other. Um, a lot of these camps,
There are some camps who do things like that, and there are some camps who don't do things like that. You got some camps who, you know, they there was this one particular camp that they prefer really not to really talk to you, but they are out there because they are trying to fulfill what they are supposed to do for the Most High. If you are interested in talking to them, they will talk to you. If you are not interested in talking to them, they will prefer you to leave them alone. And you got some camps who are very zealous where they take things too far. That's just how people are. That's just the element of people. That's not all camps, though, sir.
once a member rises up in truth and realizes that Christ is over them, these organizations will begin to oust that individual, isolate them. There was a time where the camps were performing horrendous disciplinary actions, which we're going to go into the sources on that.
There's this one particular camp that has recently done this to this one particular person who I thought was very prominent in their group. I mean, hey, that's what camps do. Well, that's what some camps do. Some camps feel that they got to to reprimand you to keep you in check. Sometimes it is righteous. Some camps do it for righteous reasons. Some camps do it for ego reasons. I mean, again, not all of them are the same.
Horrendous disciplinary actions on their followers. And they ruled with fear, and it's just a wicked thing.
Anybody who is involved in those camps, I would say that you are not part of the elect. And I would say this, if you are in a camp and if they are basically abusing you and putting their hands on you or doing things that they're not supposed to be doing to you, then you most likely are not of the elect because the ones who are in the elect, they're not in those type of situations with those people. But let's continue.
And a lot of the modern camps have adhered some of the same philosophies, but it's been toned down a little bit. Now they've resorted to internet beef, slander, lies. They make a lot of assumptions that's not true. Um,
Mm, yes and no, but weren't you bullying that white boy because he was talking about the so-called chosen ones, and you wanted your so-called credit because you felt that that was your topic, the chosen ones, and okay, well,
they make a lot of videos trying to tear other people down, and it's become like world wrestling entertainment. All right, so that's pretty much what they do now. Some of you have seen some of the One West camps, and for the record, One West are camps that derive from New York City. It started off with the Universal School of Practical Knowledge, and those camps they tend to actually fight in the streets. There's been shootings in the streets in various cities. These people are absolutely maniacs. They terrorize.
okay, this is called propaganda. So when you say that they have been shootings and fights in the streets, what is the context of that? Were they shot at? Did they start it? What happened? Speak the whole truth. I'm not about these other camps either, but don't sit here and try to make it like that. These camps are out here beating people up and shooting people. Don't do that shit. That's fucked up.
Communities. We're talking about psychopaths with Bibles running around telling white people, Spanish, I mean not white people, I mean not Spanish, but white people, all people from all walks of life to bow down and kiss their feet. Um,
Anybody doing that, you're a jackass. That's but I can't say what's been put on you, but anybody doing that shit, yes, you're a, a jackass. That's not spreading the truth. That's just being an asshole. We're not supposed to be doing that. Not yet.
it's the weirdest thing in the world. These are some very angry people, and they're very evil. They're just straight up demonic. Um, and a lot of these guys, they actually have a lot of infighting as well. And the irony of all of that is the one West camps actually fight each other, and they supposed to believe in the same thing, right? Now, so it's a lot of people gang banging on corners with the Bible, and
No, you did not do that. They're gang banging with Bibles. What the fuck is going on?
it's interesting because it's almost as if the gospel has become the new drug game. Like they'll fight for corners. Like we have so much footage that I've went over the years where
There was someone
you
that called me,
literally see these
honestly.
camps and congregations physically fighting over corners to speak the word of God. Now, can you believe that? Very interesting, right? Now, so for the record, the reason why I have to distance myself is because there's such a negative stereotype on these individuals that when they see me and I say that I'm an Israelite, which I still proclaim to be an Israelite, because historically I
Vice
am from
versa
the
as well.
diaspora.
Vice versa as
Historically,
you are.
those are my people.
You are
The
vice
blacks,
versa.
Native Americans, Latinos, spread from North, South, Central America through the Caribbeans and so forth, who've been placed in captivity, bondage, um, and slavery, particularly the transatlantic slave trade. Um, I derive from those people who were once royal people who kept the commandments, who fell because of our own disobediences, and we are now waking up realizing what our identity is. But I am not a part or affiliated with any religious institutions whatsoever. I'm not interested in starting a ministry. What I do online is the closest thing that you're going to see to a quote unquote ministry. And this is just a YouTube channel that draws awareness to various subject matters, as well as at times I may speak on my personal beliefs, right? But to make it very clear for you all, I'm not associated with any camps, congregations, groups, churches, religious sects, none of those things, ladies and gentlemen, none of it. But I am a man of the Most High, um, and there's going to be some things I'm gonna clear up before I go into my source, because again, there's a lot of people who now see that I'm into a community initiative, and I have to constantly explain what it's about because a lot of people believe I'm starting a church. A lot of people have been scorned by churches. They have a lot of hurt. They've been scorned by camps, congregations, and so forth. So they'll believe that that's what I'm attempting to start, and I have to explain what's being done, um, and clear up some disnomers before we go into the actual origin of Israelite camps, so y'all can get what's happening. First and foremost, unlimited potentials is not mine. My LLC, my business is New Breed Global Truth. There's been some updates made on the website because there's been a lot of slander campaigns, smear campaigns, lies put out there on social media from people who have, instead of reaching out, they make assumptions and they get online and they make up things because all they can do is assume. So all I can do is make things clear, right? So when you go to the website, there's some updates so you can know what this is about. Now, for those who are unaware, Unlimited Potential Farms is owned by the land purchaser. What I am doing is an affiliate program, New Breed Global Truth, in affiliation with Unlimited Potential Farms. See,
So you don't necessarily own the land. Okay.
you need to understand how business works. Now, if what this means essentially is that my morals, values, and guidelines add up with the land purchaser's morals, values, and guidelines. We both have we both like-minded, and we've decided to do business together.
You keep saying like minded, like minded, like minded. So you don't actually own this land. Somebody else owns this land, and the reason why that they are allowing you to do what you want to do right now is because you're quote unquote like minded. So this is not a solid deal. This is just you being like minded.
We decided to do business together. So now understand what that means. Now I made this very clear. Now on the website, we have now where you can put in your project proposals if you want to bring forth a business or bring a livable structure on said land. I had to do the very same thing. I'm not a cult leader. I don't own nothing. I'm not trying to run people like a cult, a church, a congregation, none of it. Just like everybody else, for my yurt, my Mongolian yurt living project, I had to put in my proposal. For my food truck, I have to put in my proposal. So to do business with the land purchaser, you literally have to put in a project proposal. I had to do the same thing. Now I'm a content creator, so I'm drawing awareness to the land, to the business that's going to be on there. For people who want to start storefronts, for people who want to, actually do something, who understand that land is actual wealth.
Yes, if you own it, you don't own this land. What are you proposing?
And people who are like-minded want to deal. That's what the land is about. And it's also room for people to actually, dwell there short term, long term, whatever the case.
Okay, so you're talking about business. That means that money needs to be exchanged. Something about this doesn't sound right. Something about this isn't right. So you don't own this land, but you're proposing projects in. So basically, whatever it is that people are supposed to be doing on this land, it has to be a business to where the landowner has to make its money. This is not even your land. How you was portraying this land, it was as if you owned it, but you don't own it. Somebody else owns it.
Case may be. We're trying to create a land that's totally self-autonomous and self-sufficient. All right? Do you understand? So
No.
while these cults and camps are trying to have religious debates and slander and lie and throw out innuendos, right?
So according to how you are describing these camps, you are also giving them false hope too. The fuck?
It's like apples and oranges. What we're talking about is community building. What they're doing is
Huh?
playing games on social media. Do you
Huh?
understand, brothers and sisters? So, but it's a blessing because the blessing of it all is that we get to see who are ambitious, who want to be successful, who want to go out and be blessed, and who want to thrive and succeed among like-minded people, and who are the religious zealots who are fixated on drama, chaos, so religious that they're no earthly good, so religious that they don't understand business at all.
You keep saying business. Uh, Something about all this doesn't sound right. It's like you're selling people hopes and dreams. How you was portraying this thing, it was as if you own this and people was going to go on there and start building houses and start growing their own food, fresh wells, fresh water. It's going to be your own separate community away from everybody else in the times of Jacob's trouble. Now I'm confused because now you don't own this land. So who is the person that actually owns this land? Because you're over here proposing projects. This this doesn't, something about this doesn't make any sense.
So religious that they want to I mean, we talking about some of the most Bible toting, scripture quoting people in the world, but they're also some of the most evil people in the world. And that's what I've realized being amongst the Israelite community. And the irony of all of this is that I've distanced myself from this community after reaching out to everyone in that said community to be a part of the land initiative. Literally.
So because they rejected you, they are evil and XYZ. Maybe they all rejected you because they're not they're not stupid. Maybe they heard your project and was like, that's not biblical.
Reached out to everybody and saying, hey, this can be your oasis. It's yours. I'm giving you an opportunity. Put in a project proposal. Get involved. Do what it is you want to do. I literally reached out to all these people. They didn't want to get involved. And then once I said, all right, I'm just going to distance myself and work with people who are like minded, now they're pissed off. Isn't that crazy? Isn't it crazy how people don't want to build an actual community and it's so much jealousy and envy and
No, new breed. People are not stupid. They probably have listened to you and decided, no, that's not a good idea. People who are in this truth with people who are actually in this truth understands what is coming and what is about to happen. And your ass has fell off. I don't know what the fuck happened to you. Whatever this land is, or whatever this community is, I don't think you quite understand the times that we are living under. So let me put out this scripture. Oh my god! Now I know why that. Now I know why I stopped watching him. This is Matthew chapter 24 verse 21, NIV version. For then there will be great distress, uh, unequaled from the beginning of the world until now, and never to be equaled again. So what this verse is describing is what we call Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble is basically the remnant of Jacob going through something that has never been seen before. I call it personally the Lord's final squeeze. Basically, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are going to go through it. The economic collapse, the up and coming famine, it's going to be bad out here. And it's not going to just stop in the cities, it's going to be everywhere. And you're talking about building this so called community. It's like you're trying to build a house within a burning house. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. What you're thinking is going to work is not going to work. Like you see, you're trying to go into business for yourself. If all other camps have rejected you, then wow. Even some camps that I'm thinking about, they rejected you too. You see, some of us are supposed to be about our Father's business. You seem to be going into business for yourself. We don't want it. We don't want it.
Hate. That's why I will never be a part of any Israelite community, right?
They don't want you to be a part of them, and so is vice versa. Ain't nobody begging your ass, new braid. Ain't nobody begging your ass to be a part of what they got going on. The only time when I've heard anybody mention you is if you say something stupid. I think it was Deacon ASAP, that guy from IUIC. He called you no bleed because apparently it's been so long now. It's just like whatever you said was not in the correct context or what was actually going on. I don't forgot, but I do remember that he was digging in your ass like no other. I never heard anybody trying to get you into their camp. I never heard it. Again, we all saw you as odd. Like there's something off with you. Not in a peculiar way, but in a odd way.
Now, now I want to share something with y'all because y'all got to understand the origin of these camps so you can know the mind frame of these demons. They're demons. And I want to tell y'all when y'all level up, when y'all get away from certain individuals, these churches,
I think whatever that is going on with this man is I think is deeper. Um, this channel is not exactly a small channel either. You know, this is he has a good bit of a following. So I don't know who came up to him or who talked to him, but something's not right.
camps, organizations, groups, y'all gonna notice that you was under spiritual bondage. You was truly under bondage.
And you're not.
For heal you, actually get some time alone. Alone. I mean, I'm talking about veer off from everybody, and you don't have all these voices in your head that muddy the waters, and you can actually walk with Christ yourself. You're gonna gain a greater understanding. See, right now is an ascension phase. Right now it's time for us to do. It's not time to keep being led by people who are hoarders of souls, people who are narcissistic, people who are only out for selfish gain, people who really want to rule you. That's not what this is about. That's not what I'm about. I've avoided that all my time being in truth.
You have always been against camps. I do remember you always being a against camps. No, you've always promoted you being by yourself, by yourself, by yourself, by yourself. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verse 9 through 12. Two are better than one because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up the other. But woe to the one who is alone and falls and does not have another to help. Again, if two lie together, they keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? And though one might prevail against another, two will withstand. A threefold cord is not quickly broken, but you want to always be alone, 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 which trust me, I am one of the most isolated people that there is, but even I know that I need somebody to counsel me sometimes because I might be falling out. And if you are alone enough, then you might fall alone to your own understanding. And that is what is going on with you, sir. You think that nobody can counsel you. You think that you get all of the answers, but you don't, sir. That's why you're trying to build a house within a burning house. Sir, you are going insane. And which happens if you stay alone long enough. You go insane.
I've avoided these people and I've always been a threat. I've had certain groups, literally just because I walk alone, I've had certain groups notify their membership on their websites don't follow this guy. Imagine, I'm
They no, that sounds about right. I mean, because if there is something that is because if there is something about an individual or a group or a place, they tend to warn their members to not go to that particular place so they don't stray off of the truth. I would, if I had a camp or a organization, I would tell them to stay away from you too.
I'm teaching from the same Bible as they're teaching from, but they're making
You're teaching something completely different, sir.
websites saying don't follow this guy. Why? Because I'm telling you something that is going to help you in your life where you will not need these people. I'm telling you to seek the Father. I'm telling you to read, study yourself, approve.
Well, sir, here's what you got to understand. First and foremost, I am still very interested in how did you learn of this truth? Because I know for a fact that did not come across this by yourself. I know for a fact that you did not open up this book and you got all of the secrets and all of the parables and all that by your daggone self. Somebody had to have told you this, sir, because somebody had to have told me. Somebody had to have explained this word to me to where I began to understand these secrets. So, how did you learn this word, sir? Because you are portraying it as of you just that it just came to you all by yourself, which that is a lie, sir. How did you learn this truth?
I'm telling you to be your own person. I'm telling you to follow Christ. And that's a threat to them because they need you constantly going back to them. They need you constantly getting scriptures. But a lot of these people won't build anything for you. They won't establish anything. They won't show you the ropes. They won't even lead by example to show you how business should be done with the biblical Israelites and how business is conducted. So we can have a template to follow. No, they want you to be pouring in the
This nigga is not understanding the times that we are living under. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna be a morning where you might try to turn on your lights and it's not going to turn on. There's going to be a day when you're going to walk outside and you're going to see people just standing around trying to figure out what is going on. Whatever bunker or whatever hideout or whatever it is that you have built for yourself for those particular times, you might not even make it to there. The only thing that is going to keep you steady is the knowledge and the understanding of this word. So while everybody is going insane, you know what is happening, and that is keeping you whole. This man wants to do business. This man wants to build community. This man wants to build a house within a burning house. This is not a learned man.
them. They want you to fund their organization. They want you to fund their camp. That's what it's all about. And I'm telling you. And it's always started off with ruling with fear and tyranny. From the beginning, the camps was bad. From the beginning. I know y'all like, well, back in the day, the camps was good. No, you're gonna get a real dark history on the start. The first Israelite camp. We're talking about the first Israelite camp. Before, well, it's right around the time of they say that the Universal School of Practical Knowledge is the first, but I believe it's Yahweh ben Yahweh. And we're going to talk a little bit about that cult and how it all started. And it started in
Let me
murder,
fast
it
forward through
started
this.
in extortion, haughty men out here handling Bibles, or I should say, mishandling Bibles, trying to condemn people, trying to tear others down. Um, they can't just do their work and focus on what it is they do.
Did, do you know what I personally think happened with New Breed in these camps? Somebody rubbed him the wrong way. I don't know which camp did it, but this man was rubbed the wrong way. Somebody said something to him that made him. get that dumbass look on his face. But something happened with him in these camps.
They always got to have their their fingers pointed with I'm telling y'all, I have nothing to do with that. I'm a man of truth. I'm a God fearing man, a family man. I'm a businessman. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a creator. I'm a musician. I'm a whole lot of things.
Nigga, who gives a fuck? Because we are going into times where where you can't eat that. You can't eat being a entrepreneur. You can't eat being a musician. Who gives a fuck?
But I damn sure ain't affiliated with no damn Israelite community. Is to try to manipulate you. There's a very dark psychology that comes with running a camp, a organization, a cult. It's a dark psychology, and we'll get a little bit into that.
Miami was ripe for the entry of somebody with a strong pride in the African American community message.
He built the communities up.
They bought around 20 properties.
When you're in the Yahweh code, they tell you to get rid of your natural family. I felt cheated out of my own children's lives.
It says he told them to get rid of their natural family. That's to isolate them. Now, of course, we know that in the last days, in the latter days, that your enemies may be, those of your own household. It also tells us if ye love mother, father, sister, brother more than me, ye are not worthy of me. But you must understand something, and I got to make this very clear. You have to use discretion in your situation.
Anybody, anybody who is going into anything uh, like that, whether it's him or whether it's Jim Jones, if you are in that particular situation, then the Holy Spirit was never working with you. You are not there, and there is a good chance that you may not be part of the 1/3. If anybody is having you to, put yourself into weird situations and you're doing things that you know that isn't right, then is it the cult or is it your dumb ass? But
We're talking about in this instance, people had legitimate, um, we're talking about legitimate support systems, but they were still ousting these men and separating them from families. And I've seen this done before. In order to do what? In order to indoctrinate these men. And at the same time, make them seem like they're a part of something greater than their family. And some of these people,
yeah, that sounds like there's Jim Jones and Jim Jones used the guise of Christianity. Yeah, that's what those people kind of do. Same thing as that guy did down there at Waco, Texas. People use things to get people into what they got going on just so they can fuck them up. That's what demons do. New breed.
are dangerous in these camps because you got to ask yourself why everybody in a family in a group in a friends, why everybody don't want nothing to do with them. They could have been insane. They could have burnt all their bridges and then came to the camp or the church or whatever you want to call these groups to just be wicked and foul and carry out their foul ways.
Are you trying to blame? Oh God. He's trying to portray all camps as being these brainwashing type organizations. That's what he's doing. He's trying to basically portray these camps, these Hebrew Israelite camps, as being these brainwashing places. Nigga, is your feelings hurt because nobody wants to fuck with you? What's really going on with you? There's something going on with this guy.
So you got to be careful with people who don't have family and people that they have relationships with. You have to judge certain individuals based on their relationships in life. Do you have upstanding relationships I can judge you by? Even when you go to a look, even when you go to a job and you fill out their app, you do the interview. They want sources. They want sources. So it's not about, you know, just cutting your family off. You understand what I'm trying to say? Right. Floridine Rollo, thank you for the support. No, right? The answer would be no, right? So essentially, what needs to be done is if we are God's chosen people, you know, shouldn't we establish something? Shouldn't we have something like a Black Wall Street?
This simple minded shit, I would hate to be around this man when it comes time when things really go down. He is not understanding that we are not at a place of rest. We are not even in our land. This is not even our kingdom. This kingdom, the fourth kingdom, will not allow us to have anything because they don't want us to have anything. We have already tried this. This is the stiff neck hard headedness that the Most High have spoken about us. Look at him, like he even looks stupid. Jesus. And I say Jesus in a vain way because I know that his name is not Jesus. That's just something that I say now. But this really is just frustrating. It's just frustrating that we're going to keep doing the same fucking thing that we have always done, and we're going to always come back to the same result. It's going to blow up in your fucking face. Whatever you think that you're going to do is going to blow up in your fucking face. Do you understand? Do you understand? No, you don't. I can tell by this man's countenance that he done lost it. Look at him.
We say we God's chosen people. We say we chosen ones and all of those things, right? Shouldn't we have something great and grand and beautiful that we can
Yes. Yes. The kingdom is at hand. Do you believe? Do you believe it? Well, if you believe it, then you will have to understand that a lot of things has to happen for us to finally obtain what is ours. But here's the thing. The majority of us, even those of us who proclaim to be in this truth, we do not believe. We don't believe. And those of us who are in this truth, what's going to end up happening in these last days is you're going to see people who you thought were solid in this truth fall away. When that happens, when you see that happen, don't allow that to shake you. It's supposed to happen. You're going to see people bug out. You're going to hear these excuses or, I got things going on in my personal life and, I'm going to still be in this truth, but I'm not going to really be out here as much anymore. You're going to hear nothing but excuses, excuses, excuses.
call our own? And that's all I was trying to do for the people. And to get so much pushback for trying to push something so righteous, such a righteous initiative, shows you how righteous it is. Because let me tell you something. When you're doing right, and this goes for all of y'all, when you're a visionary about something and you have a pure intention, let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna make this very clear. This is how people start grouping up, clicking up, and it'll be the people you thought was on your side. It'll be the people you helped. It'll be the people that you had no ill will towards. And when everything hit the fan, you'll find out how many enemies you really got.
I'm gonna just go by saying that I tried going to therapy and it didn't work. It didn't work because, well, I realized that at that particular time it was me who was the problem, and I try to make what I was going through about everybody else but me. You see, this man likes to always talk about how, he is always the oddball out or he's always alone. And that's me as well. But sometimes is it everybody else or is it you sometimes? You sound like that, you sound like that you need to talk to somebody. But since you're so into being by yourself, you can't have anybody who is learned and also older than you to counsel you.
All because you did the right thing. I want everybody in truth to understand that. You got to expect that. It comes with the territory. You got to keep people who tried to leave.
Hold on.
All right, let's continue.
There were so many disillusioned followers who had left the Yahwehs.
Yahweh ben Yahweh sought retribution on them.
Mildred Bank.
Now, people who tried to leave, I'm talking about it was so bad in the Yahweh ben Yahweh cult. When people tried to leave, yo, they had got butchered. I'm talking about bludgeoned. Bludgeoned with blunt objects, baseball bats. We talk.
So what are you trying to portray it like this is the camps like this is what camps do, like they kill people? That was a nut, okay? Just like what's his face? Uh Jim Jones, he was a nut. Just like who else? That guy from Waco, Texas, he was a nut. Just like that guy from Utah, he was a nut. This is what people do. This is what people do. This is what demons do.
Talking about machetes. This is what was going on. This is the beginning of the camps, ladies and gentlemen. They were being bludgeoned. I'm talking about.
Wow. So he's saying that this was the genesis of the camps. That this is what the camps, how they all started. You're a fucking devil. You're a fucking demon. No, that was not. Oh my God. Oh wow. Wow. If you want to fucking leave the fucking truth, then just fucking leave. Boy, you're cursing yourself.
About they were finding bodies in the field because this is what these camps were doing over religion. Because these people thought that Yahweh ben Yahweh was the Messiah, a straight up plant at that. And it's almost like it's easier to lead people if you want to be a cult leader. If you want to be a damn cult leader and you manipulative and you twist scriptures to fit your purpose, is
Nigga, that sounds like you right now. With your little community that you want to build and how you're twisting and turning things to meet your narrative. And I see so many of these people on this chat talking and how simple that they are. Nigga, that sounds like you.
it's almost as if the mindset of people would more so follow that than the person who's actually trying to empower you, the person who's trying to tell you to follow Christ, the person who's trying to tell you, look, wake up, follow the Messiah. Let no man rule over you.
Something's different about
It's
it.
almost like pulling teeth, me trying to tell the people that, because it's like they
Something's different
defend,
about
they
him.
defend the beast.
Something's
It's like,
different
no,
about him.
we want to hold on to being led. We want to stay sheep. We want to stay sheeple. We want to follow a group. I need to be a part of this letter organization.
Okay, so you're telling people to follow Christ and to follow their own way, or no, I don't want to put words in his mouth. Like you're telling people to follow Christ, Christ, first and foremost, that is the wrong term. That is the wrong title. I know what it means, but the correct title. It, it, anyway, man, I
I
lost.
need that dopamine release. I want to hear these sweet words that make me feel good. I want to hear I got to go to Bible lesson. I need structure. Now I'm going to tell you how that started. That started off a little bit before the civil rights movement. Oh man, we can go further than that, off through slavery, all the way through the civil rights movement. Church was our only safe haven. Church was the only place we can go where we had peace, where the slave master wasn't hunting us down, chopping us up, putting us on a field, making us work all these strenuous hours, whipping us on the back, being in the blazing hot sun. The church was the only time we had rest. Now the churches have become, now the churches have become some of the YouTube ministries. These mega churches are still here. These trash, demonic, wicked, filthy churches are still here. But you also got these camps. And they're taking advantage of that desire for you to have brotherhood, sisterhood, or whatever the case may be. But they're not empowering you. They're keeping you at a certain level.
Nigga, you was rejected. You've always been rejected. And the Lord is now rejecting you. This solitude that you so love so much is not good for you, and it's not even good for your psyche. I could look at your countenance, bro.
Because let me tell you, when you learning the truth, you don't have to keep coming back to church. It comes a time where, oh, I learned the truth. I'm in the Bible. Now I'm living it. I'm living this. So what's the next?
So nobody can counsel you. Nobody can. So if you're falling off or if anything happens, you you got the truth now, or you know what I mean? So like it's
Next step? Well, New Breed Global Truth, along with all of the brothers in truth that I may be affiliated with, we are the next step. What we teaching is actually building and empowering ourselves in doing something for ourselves.
when you hear people say empowering and doing all of these things, man, be very, very careful with that. Be very, very careful with that. And I'm looking at his hat. I am looking at his hat. Don't blink. Something about that. Don't blink. Don't blink. Yeah, I ain't gonna blink on you. I'm gonna keep my eye on you.
Literally fighting back in the righteous way is the next step. Not
You're using these words. What does that mean coming from you? These abstract things that you are saying, what does that mean?
just trading scriptures all day. Now, if that's what you want to do, you do that somewhere else. But when you come and you sit amongst righteous men of truth who about this work, just know.
About what work? All of these words, what does this mean? What does this mean? What are you talking about?
That the talks that's on the table is what we're doing and how we're going to do it. We're talking about executing. We're talking about mobilizing. We're talking about all those things.
Executing, mobilizing. Executing what? Mobilizing where? What are you talking about? You're just saying things. These big abstract things that you're saying, what does this mean? Can you be specific? Can you tell us what you're trying to, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Not just trading scripture all day.
Nobody is trading scripture all day.
His home became a house of death.
Nobody is trading scripture all day. It's called being edified. We are being spiritually prepared for the up and coming days. What exactly are you preparing people for? Something's dark about this man. Like, what is. And this motherfucker is trying to say that these camps that this is basically the foundation of these camps. Granted, we have a lot of camps who are bugging out, who are not doing what they are supposed to be doing. They are actually falling out right now. But this man is saying that, oh my God. Oh my God.
Man was shot to death early this morning at the complex, taken over by Yahweh's.
Somebody.
I'm talking about these was men killing men that look just like us. Men who look something that we can call our own. These people use to literally carry out hits on people. On record, making dry threats and doing all this kind of stuff. It ain't a good look that you out here training on camera. But it's nothing new under the sun. I'm trying to show y'all there's nothing.
You're trying to spin things to meet your narrative. You're not showing anybody anything. Those of us who are in this truth and those of us who are awake know that you're full of shit. Now, I don't know who has been talking to you, who you have deals with, who your affiliation with them is, what they have promised you, but nigga, you done with me. I knew that there was something about you. I knew it.
All type of, wickedness against God's chosen. They will be teaching you, all right, manage by Yahweh ben Yahweh in the auspice of philanthropy. That's what he was doing. He was coming in the vein of philanthropy, but he was really like terrorizing the community. It's the same thing. It's the same thing you see these modern day camps doing. They act like they all about the people and waking people up, but really they just be on the street shouting at people and acting crazy. Like they literally, you see what magnitude it was back then. They were like literally evicting people without no eviction notice. They was out here buying out communities, burning them. They was rioting. They was terrorizing it in a different level. But now you see Israelites still terrorizing communities.
Oh, wow. You're a liar. You're a liar. What Israelite camp, even the worst ones, what camp are terrorizing communities? They're out on the highways and byways preaching the word. What community are they terrorizing? This is the face of a man who was rejected by the Lord.
We talking about the Israelite camps. They still be out here terrorizing communities, yelling and screaming at people, literally idolatry. I was delivered from this. This is something that I got away from many, many, many years ago. This is what was on Moloch when they.
This is him just basically talking about these symbols and these idolatry symbols. Basically, the star or David is the star of Moloch. Um, the GDs also uses that star, and again, basically, you people like you kids in these gangs, you are devil worshippers. When you throw up those horns and those pitchforks, you are devil worshippers. Any camp that has any type of emblem or any type of picture that is idolatry, You're not supposed to be having those things. Yeah, you're not supposed to be having those things.
Of setting to learn, meaning like a classroom setting. You need the gathering. You may need those type of things at that moment. But what I'm essentially saying is understand that your pastor, church leader, elder camp, there's a limit that they can go. There's a ceiling. And you need to understand that
It is up to every single individual to work on their own salvation, but the elders and the apostles are there to assist you and to also keep you on track. And that is what you need, new breed, and that is a elder, somebody to talk to you and to keep you on track. Because boy, you're falling out. No, you fell out. You fell out. And this right here with this hat on, listen, I like ball caps too. But when you're preaching this word, you take that off. But again, you don't believe in that.
Christ is the one for you brothers out.
You're always wearing a hat too, bro. I mean, it don't matter how fucked up your hairline might be. Take it off. And tell your friend Ringo to cut his fucking hair too.
There, who can get you on the levels you need to go on. You don't have to be under the rule and thumb of anybody. One. Let's go.
He's all about individuality. You don't want to be under the rule. You don't want to be under a camp. You don't let another man rule over you. Basically, what, new breed? Do what thou wilt. Because what you're basically preaching to the people is not that far from that. Do what thou wilt, new breed. Because you seem to be under the guise of a Israelite, but you don't want anybody telling you what to do. You don't believe in elders and you don't believe in those type of things. What else is he talking about? Because I'm about getting about tired. Like literally tired.
And firebombed the homes.
Raymond Kelly was found stabbed to death multiple times, and his ears had been severed. A search turned up 2 firearms. That was a huge.
This nigga picked the worst example out to fit his narrative about how bad that and about how bad these camps are. I'm gonna just say this, and I'm going to wrap this up. People expect more of this. Expect more of this. Do we have camps that are bugging out, that are going crazy? Absolutely, absolutely. But you got to use discernment, and you got to measure those people based on scripture, not based on your heart, or not based on how you feel, but based on uh, uh, I am stuttering, based on scripture. This is just ridiculous. This thing is just ridiculous. I don't know what happened to this man. I don't know what witch finally got to him, because he used to be on their necks. But man, I could see it in your countenance, and I keep saying that. I could see it on you. Something happened to you. Something jumped on you. He does have a thing of having multiple women, and I don't know. I don't know if he met the right one. I don't know what happened to him, but this is not the same new breed. I don't know what happened to bro. But all I know is, and when I say things like this, I actually mean it. This is my last video that I'm going to watch of him. He can go on ahead and build his community or do whatever it is that he feels that he needs to do. Because to be honest with you, I don't know what's on his heart. I don't know who put that on his heart. If you're building bunkers, if you're building communities, if you're building whatever it is that you feel that you need in these last days, build it. Because I'm going to just say it like this: build your bunkers, build your communities, build whatever it is that you need to build. Because I know in those days, I'm going to be moving like a pilgrim. And people like me are going to need a place to stay. And you might not be there. Things are always being used for his will. So I don't know if this is his will. I don't know. But what I will say is until next time.